So on Twitter, Mike Coppinger is now reporting that Canelo Alvarez versus Sergey Kovalev is reportedly being finalised for November 2nd in Las Vegas, okay? It says here the deal will see the Mexican fighter jump up 2 weight divisions and attempt to win a 4th world title as he challenges the WBO light heavyweight champion Sergey Kovalev. Now, we know prior to Kovalev facing Anthony Yarde that Canelo was trying to make this fight, and I believe they said that Anthony Yarde turned down some step-aside money and stuff like that. I kind of saw various different reports on that. I do believe Anthony Yarde did turn down step-aside money, and I do think it was a fairly decent amount. But I also read a report stating that the purse they were offering Kovalev for the Canelo fight was in around the 6 million bracket. And I think that with the way the WBO do the step-aside money rule, is that it comes directly from the champion's purse. So for argument's sake, if Canelo Alvarez was paying Sergey Kovalev something like 6 million and Yarde's purse was 2 million, we'll say, that would have to come from that $6 million purse. Whereas I think with the WBA and the WBC, it's just given to the fighter. Now, I read that may be not true. I don't know, that's just what I read. But I think that was one of the main reasons why we didn't see that fight, get made, basically, when it should have got made. And obviously Yarde as well. We can see why he turned down that money, because given the fact that Kovalev, we kind of know at this stage now, is near the end of his career, I'm sure that Yarde, even though he'd be way bigger in terms of just natural size than Canelo, Yarde must have looked at Canelo and thought, you know what, I might be bigger than this guy, but this guy's skill is next level. Canelo is definitely in his prime, his physical and probably his mental prime as well. So Canelo, even though Yarde is really a cruiserweight and Canelo's really a middleweight, still a hard ass to beat someone as skilled as Canelo. Having said all that, if this fight does get made for November the 2nd, it is a quick turnaround, to be fair. Kovalev only fought Yarde there, 2 weeks ago now? And we're talking another 2 months to November the 2nd, so it's a quick turnaround. Kovalev, it was a tough fight. It was a very tough fight. He took some good shots. He had a hard time with Anthony Yarde, a very hard time. He came close to losing that fight. So it is a very quick turnaround to be having another fight. And I'd be interested to see, if this fight does happen, will there be a catch weight? Will there be a catch weight of, say, 172 pounds, 171 pounds, something like that? Because we know Canelo is known for doing that. And even if there's no catch weight, will there be a rehydration clause? Stuff like that, because we know Canelo likes to get them things done, especially now that he's moved up and he's fighting these naturally bigger guys. I know there was no issues with Rocky Fielding, but Rocky Fielding, come on, and Sergey Kovalev, they're leagues apart. It's not even remotely close. So it'll be interesting to see. Kovalev is not the biggest light heavyweight out there. He does weigh in at 175 and he does tend to rehydrate only about 10 or so pounds. Now, when you're talking the higher weight classes, that's not necessarily the biggest difference, if you know what I mean. If you're talking about flyweights or something like that, then yeah, cutting 10 pounds for them is an issue. But when you're talking about the higher weight classes, if you see super middleweights weigh in heavier than some of the rehydrations Sergey Kovalev has come in at, if you know what I mean. So it might not necessarily be the be-all and end-all, or it may. So if there is a catch weight, I've seen Katy Duva say that, she wouldn't accept the catch weight, this, that and the other. Look, Katy Duva runs main events out of a house, all right? You look it up on YouTube. She runs main events, that promotional company, out of a house. If Canelo Alvarez's team offer Sergey Kovalev enough money and there's a catch weight, Katy Duva will have no problem saying, yep, get that catch weight signed up. That woman has no fighters other than Sergey Kovalev. That woman's business is hanging on by a thread. She would sell her own child. I don't think she has any to keep that business going seriously. Sergey Kovalev, if Canelo Alvarez team throw enough money at Kovalev, they will get the catch weight, definitely. So it'll be interesting. In terms of how I'd see the fight going, I think Sergey Kovalev is really starting to show his age, and I think that he's there for the taking. I genuinely think Kovalev is there for the taking. I think someone like a Canelo Alvarez, way more skilled than Anthony Yarde. Alright, he's not as big, but he's way more skilled. Terrific body puncher, which we know Sergey Kovalev doesn't like, and which I'm sure Anthony Yarde is still regretting not going to the body earlier, because we know they took it out of Kovalev. Canelo Alvarez, wicked body puncher, wicked combination puncher, and I do think Canelo Alvarez, people say that Canelo Alvarez isn't hitting as hard as middleweight. Well, I don't think he is. I think he is hitting hard. I think that when you're going up these levels, like your Danny Jacobs, like Golovkin, you're not likely to get as many knockouts. Because Danny Jacobs is a very, very good fighter. He's a world level fighter. When you're talking about two world level fighters, you rarely see knockouts. Alright, and Golovkin, we know, has a tremendous chin. He's got a Jared McClellan chin. So that guy's not going to go down. So in terms of Canelo's power, I still think he's a puncher. I still think he can punch. And I think that definitely he can hurt Sergey Kovalev to the body, probably more so than the head. But yeah, I wouldn't rule out Canelo Alvarez stopping Kovalev, especially if Kovalev still has to recover from the yard fight. Because a kind of fight like that, you'd need more than 2 months away, before you're going into another fight. You could get away with fighting somebody low level after, 2 months later, but not a Canelo. So I don't know. I would definitely make Canelo Alvarez favourite in that fight if it gets made. We're hearing it's being finalised. At the end of the day, Sergey Kovalev's biggest purse. I don't know what he was paid for this yard fight, but I know in the first Andre Ward fight it was 2.5 million, 3 million, something like that. I don't think he's made more since then. So, if Team Canelo come with him and offer him, say, 8-9 mil, he ain't going to turn that down. No, I don't think he'll turn that down. So it'll be interesting to see. Let me know what you think down below. Who do you have in this fight? Me personally, I've said it before, Canelo all the way. I think Kovalev's there for the taking. But let me know down below. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like. Subscribe for new. And as always, I will talk to you after.